Hi all, welcome to the demo session on Celigo. I'm Shalini Arala. In our today's session, we'll discuss about the features of Celigo. I'll walk you through Celigo UI. We'll then revise the concepts in Celigo, the tools, resources, and the help section in Celigo. So let's get started. We'll first start with features of Celigo. So Celigo enables business teams with self-service while ensuring best practices and compliance. So with the help of Celigo's pre-built automations, we can automate business processes up to 100% with built-in best practices and approachable for non-IT users. Even non-technical users can build custom business processes as the UI is very user-friendly. And robust development tools. Celigo provides powerful integration tools for technical users to build complex integrations with the help of custom coding, etc. And role-based access controls. So we can restrict the team members' access to build or update the integrations. Then Celigo provides enterprise-grade data security, including single sign-on. And Celigo provides compliance with global data privacy laws, etc. Right? Then Celigo is a modern cloud-native iPaaS with infinite scalability. So it assures no practical limitations. So we can have unlimited number of concurrent integrations, flows, and data transactions running at the same time. Then it guarantees 99.95% uptime. And Celigo constantly brings up new updates to its connectors, new features, and updates to the pre-built solutions so that business value of the platform constantly increases. And the integration assets can be reused so that the time taken to develop the new integrations will be less. Then application agnostic. So even if your business matures or if you have to change or add additional applications, your integrations can still be portable, right? Celigo leverages true artificial intelligence and machine learning to manage and assist in integrations, including self-resolving of repetitive errors, error management, etc. So then, Celigo provides lowest total cost of ownership in the industry that increases business value as you scale up. So the first is cost-effective, scalable business model. So a business model that encourages you to build more. And you can manage without the IT resources. So you can just hand over your integrations to functional, less technical users for the day-to-day maintenance and operations. Then, with the help of artificial intelligence and machine learning, the time taken to manage the errors is reduced by nearly 20%. Right? Then, server updates. So, in the server updates, you can know the flows that are paused due to application outage, determine which integration services are affected, the application status, the historical uptime is all shown in the server updates. So all this information will be posted in status.celigo.com, right? Then Celigo UI walkthrough. So before I take you to Celigo, so here is what you'll have to see about the home page. This is the home page and you'll see the navigation bar here. This is the user bar. You'll see notifications here, my profile, and you can switch between production and sandbox. So the standalone flows, we'll talk about this once we are in the UI. So this represents the connection error, help is given here, etc. So let's now go through the Celigo UI. Let me go through Google Chrome and I'll say www.celigo.com. So this will take you to Celigo website, and over here you can go into sign in. So you see here it is redirected to integrated.io sign in page. So here you can provide the credentials. So if you are invited into any Celigo account, you'll be provided with the username and password. And you can provide those details here. You should have a company mail ID here and just hit sign in. Then you are landed into the home page of Celigo here. right? So this is the home page. So home page is where you will be able to access and monitor all of your integrations. It will give you the snapshot of the errors of your integrations over here, and it also tells you how many flows are running for your integration, right? And you can find standalone flows over here. So any flow that is created through the flow builder or data loader will be in this particular type. You can later organize your integrations. Also, any integration that is not tied to any tile will be given in this standalone flows, right? So over here, this represents the connection error in this particular tile. And here you will be able to find this where you can clone your integration, download your integration, and delete the integration, right? And you can see here create flow, create integration, install integrations, and this defines your tile view and list view. And here you can find production, you can switch between production and sandbox instances. This will give you notifications, and this is the help section here. So then if you click on this, you'll know the name of your profile and the account owner of this particular account, right? And then you can go to my profile. If you click on my profile here, it gives you the information about your account. And also, one thing to remember here, if you're not finding all of these features here, what you'll have to do here is by default, this will be off developer mode. You'll have to click on developer mode and say save. Only then you'll be able to find the scripts, stacks, my APIs, etc. Right? This is important to know. So then users, you can invite other users into your account. So we actually have three different levels of account access in integrator.io. So that is individual user, administrator, and account owner. So as we've seen, Bharat is account owner here, and administrator, you can find Pavan and myself as administrators here, and the rest all are individual users. Clear? Then subscription. So here you can find the subscription of your account, audit logs, every clear information of what changes are done will be given here in this audit log. Then transfers. So you can transfer your integrations from one account to another account over here, and security. So here you can enable single sign-on that gives additional security to your account. Clear? So that's about my profile. So going back to home again. So next we have dashboard here. Here you can find the running flows and the completed flows. So the running flows, you'll have the status as waiting in queue, in progress, completing, and completed. So those are the four different states that we have. To repeat again, waiting in queue, in progress, completing, and completed. So all the flows that are completed, you'll be able to find them here. And you can filter the date ranges here. So say, for example, if I select last 30 days, I'll be able to find all the flows that are executed. And you can see when it is last run, the number of runs, the time taken, success, errors, etc. So all this you'll be able to find here, right? So pages here represent that when integrator.io receives the data from the source, it will take the records and put them into pages. So the pages of the data move through the flow one after the other until all the records are moved through the flow, right? So that is pages here. And in actions here, you can find run flow, edit flow, etc. Then we have Celigo University over here. This gives you the complete training material that is available from Celigo, and you can do all the certifications that are available from Celigo. Here, you can go to the dashboard from here. So the dashboard gives you the clear metrics of what all are completed, etc. And here you can see the assigned courses and learning paths. So here you can see all of this, the certifications that are done, etc. will be shown here, right? Then we have content library, where you can find the clear information about all the different integrations. So here you can see the achievements that I was able to get through. So I'm level 4 certified. We'll be able to find all of that information over here. Live sessions, collapse menu, and knowledge base. These are the different options provided in Celigo University. Then marketplace. So marketplace is where you can get a running start of your integrations by finding your integration app and customizable integration templates. Say for example, I'll go search here saying Salesforce. So just click on Salesforce here and you'll be able to find all the integration apps and templates. Right? So the difference between integration application and template is that integration application holds their own subscription and are maintained by the developer of the integration application. So to use an integration application, you must have an integrator.io subscription for that specific application. Right? Whereas coming to the template, it gives you a start for integrating two applications. The basics of connecting two applications will be in place, and it is up to you on how to customize the flow within the applications. Right? So these count against the subscription for your integrator.io account. You will need to configure these templates and then customize them according to your needs. Yeah. So that's about marketplace. Then we have product portal over here. So this gives you the complete information about the upcoming features that Celigo is going to get. So you can submit your idea over here. So here you can find the ideas that are under consideration, that are planned, in progress, and are released. So this gives you the complete information about Celigo product portal. Yeah. So next we have is tools section over here. So the tools section of integrator.io has tools for users to manage the data. At first we have flow builder over here. The flow builder allows you to create custom flows between your applications. So here you can create a source and destination and add mappings accordingly. And you can on or off your flow, run your flow, and see the run status of your flow. And next we have is data loader. So the data loader allows you to take data from a file and add it into another application quickly. So there is no manual intervention at all. You just take the data from a file and add it into another application, right? Then we have reports here. So the report section is where users can run reports on the data of their integration. Then developer playground. So this developer playground is available only for users who have enabled developer mode. This provides you all the tools that are required for complex integrations. So here you have CSV parser helper, XML parser helper, form builder, etc. So this gives you the tools required for complex integrations. This helps the technical users a lot. Right? So let's talk about the resources now. So here in resources, you will find all the components that are used across the flows. So it will list out all the connections, imports, exports, etc. So if you are not able to find all these options here, as we've discussed, we need to go into my profile here and have to check this developer mode. So only if you check this developer mode, you'll be able to find the scripts, stacks, my APIs, etc. Right? So if we go into connections first. So connection defines how integrator.io connects to an application, right? So if you try to create a connection, you'll be able to find different applications over here, nearly 240 plus applications. So you can select any one of them and provide the credentials and you're connected to that application, right? Let's look at Salesforce connection in detail. So here you'll be providing email and organization ID, so account type, production or sandbox, and OR 2.0 flow type. So the two options here we have are JWT bearer token and refresh token. So to get more detail about JWT, see JWT stands for JSON Web Token. So it is an open standard used to share security information between a client and a server. Each JWT contains encoded JSON objects, including a set of claims. So JWTs are signed using a cryptographic algorithm to ensure that these claims cannot be altered after the token is issued. So you use JWT bearer token when a server to server integration is required, and a certificate is used to sign the JWT request, right? Also, you need to provide the username if you select the JWT bearer token, right? So if you select refresh token, so here the server side code interacts with host.com APIs, and no login credentials needed to enter. And you will be prompted to give permissions after authorization. So now if you see, if I say save and authorize, this will redirect you to the Salesforce login page. So here, if you say login, if you authorize it, so your integrator.io is now connected to Salesforce application. Clear? So next we have something called concurrency level over here. So this defines the number of concurrent API requests allowed by this connection, right? And we have borrow concurrency from, so say for example, you have multiple Salesforce connections. And so you can use this option to borrow concurrency from another connection. Clear? Next, coming to imports. So imports is how the data is loaded into the target. So here you will define how data needs to be loaded into the target. So let's see Salesforce bulk import in detail. So here we have one to many. So one to many field is set to no by default. So you'll select yes if the records processing through the flow contain child records that should be imported as main records. So if you select this, you'll need to provide the path to those child records over here. Okay. Then, so the Salesforce API type tells how the records should be imported. So here it defines all the objects that are available in Salesforce, and you can select your required object from here. And these are the different options that are available. If you select insert, it imports data as new records, and you can choose to ignore the existing records. Then you select update, it updates the existing data, and you can provide the criteria to find the data and ignore the missing records here. Then insert or update. So it either updates the data if already exists or inserts as a new record. And you can provide the criteria over here. Then upsert. So this updates the existing data or inserts new data. And this is preferred when you have an external ID, right? Then it deletes the data that is provided in this criteria. Clear? Then, so here in this advanced settings helps you to ensure that your flow runs smoothly. And when there are errors, the errors have a link to the target data in Salesforce. Clear? So that's about import. Then coming to the export. So export defines how you want to fetch the data from the source. So let's look at Salesforce, how we are getting data from it. So here you'll define how the data have to come from Salesforce. You'll provide the SOQL query here. So SOQL stands for Salesforce Object Query Language. So we have three paths here: select, from, where. Select defines the what clause. So this tells what data needs to be fetched from source. And from defines the location clause. So this tells what objects that have to get the data or fields from. Then where is the filter clause? So here you will provide further conditions to narrow down the results. Clear? Then we have different export types here. So if you select all the records found will go through the flow. And if you select delta here, only records that have been created or updated since the last time the flow ran will go through the flow. So you can provide here how you want the data to be fetched, from when the data have to be fetched, right? Then once, so each record only goes through the flow one time. So here you need to provide the Boolean field to mark when the record has gone through the flow. Then test. So this sends only one record through the flow as a test, right? So then you can preview the data over here. You can see the data preview. So all with the type prospect that are coming out, right? Then we have scripts here. So you can use scripts to alter your data. So here we have different functions. So we'll discuss in detail about this in the next video. So to give an example of one of the script, so here this concatenate ID and the name from the input, right? So that's about scripts here. Then agents. So if we have to connect to an on-premise application, so we need to have an agent to be installed in the on-premise system, right? So here you can say create agent, and you can you'll have a downloadable file that have to be installed in the system. So then stacks. So integrator.io is a distributed system where different components can run on different servers to perform multiple operations efficiently. So during runtime, the integrator.io can invoke those resources on servers where you provided the reference in the stack, right? Hooks and wrappers are the integrator.io extensions that run on separate servers that integrator.io can call during runtime. Yeah. So a stack can be one server or a set of servers running behind a load balancer. So you store the system token for the stack as an environment variable on the server side where the extension code is running. So the extension variable is integrator underscore extension underscore system underscore token, right? So if I try to create a stack here, you'll be able to find AWS Lambda and server. So AWS Lambda, this uses the AWS IAM user access key provided on the stack to invoke the extension functions and get the results. And so if I select server, this creates an Express app which exposes an API that is used by integrator.io to invoke the extension functions and get back the results, right? So then my APIs. So say if you want your client applications to interact with integrator.io or to execute any script in integrator.io, then you will use this my APIs. So this gives you a custom endpoint that the client application can hit through and run the script, right? Then API tokens. So the API tokens provide access to integrations from outside of integrator.io. If I say create API token, it asks for the scope, full access, or custom actions, and for what components, connections, exports, imports, and you can select the my APIs over here. Then anything that are deleted will go into recycle bin here. Clear? So that's about the resources part here. Next, going into the help section. So here you have help center, community, what's new, and submit ticket. So here you have some quick links to create flow, handlebars, mappings, etc. And if you have any queries, you can search them over here. So here in the community, you'll be able to find the posts related to each application. And here everything that is coming up with the new releases or existing releases will be displayed here. And if there is any issue, you can always submit a ticket to the Celigo support team. So that's about integrator.io UI. So let's now move on to the presentation. So then concepts in Celigo, let's revise all of it again. Here we have dashboard. So as we know, dashboard gives you the status of the flows. We have running flows and completed flows here, and we can select the date range as well. So the different status of the flows are waiting in queue, in progress, completing, and completed, right? Then marketplace. So marketplace is where you can get a running start on your integrations by finding integration apps and customizable integration templates. So the difference between the integration app and template is that so integration application holds their own subscription and are maintained by the developer of this integration app. So to use an integration app, you must have an integrator.io subscription for that specific application. Whereas integration template gives you a start for integrating two applications. So the basics of connecting to applications will be in place. However, if you need to customize it according to your needs, you can do it. So these count against the subscription for your integrator.io account, right? So coming to the tools in Celigo, we have Flow Builder. So this allows you to create custom flows between your applications. Then Data Loader, where it allows you to take data from a file and add it to another application quickly and seamlessly without the need of manual intervention. Okay. Then reports. So report section is where users can run reports on the data of their integrations. Developer Playground is available only for users who have enabled developer mode. So here we have tools for complex logic building, right? Then resources in Celigo. So at first we have connections. So here it defines how integrator.io connects to an application. So here we have nearly 240 plus applications, and we can connect to any application just by providing the credentials. Then particular to Salesforce, the Salesforce limits API calls in 3 different ways to make sure that the platform runs at an optimal performance. So they are concurrent requests, API timeouts, and total API requests. So concurrent requests are how many different API calls can be made to an account simultaneously. So based on the org type, the limit is set. So if it is developer edition, we have the concurrent request limit as 5. If it's production or sandbox instance, then we have the limit as 25. Then API timeouts. If an API call takes longer than 10 minutes, you will receive an error code that the call had timed out. So these are the error codes we can receive. For SOAP API, you will receive the error code as request running too long. And for REST API, query timeout, right? So then total API requests. So here there is a limit on the number of API requests you can make per license type and the number of total API requests you can make on your account in the given time period. So Salesforce has total API request limits in place for 24-hour period, right? Then imports. So this defines where the data goes in a flow. And exports. So this defines where data starts in the flow. And scripts. So you can write scripts in JavaScript to customize your integrations, enabling you to implement hooks, filters, transformations, and many more, right? Then agents. So agents are small applications that you can install on your computer to connect to data that is behind the firewall, right? Each agent has a token associated with it, and it should be provided while installing that software on your computer. The installed agents connect to the integrator.io and establish a reverse SSH tunnel, allowing secure communication through your firewall without any need of whitelisting the IPs. Then stacks. You can use stacks to host code for hooks, wrappers, connector installers, and setting pages, etc. So stacks are simple server environments which can be implemented in any coding language and are always invoked via HTTP. Then my APIs. So client applications can synchronously invoke custom HTTP endpoints known as my APIs to execute scripts in integrator.io. So to make a request to an integrator.io my API endpoint from another application, you must set up the below. We need to have my API object completely set up. So for which we need to have a JavaScript written to call integrator.io API runtime functions, and error handling and the response to the calling object, and unique endpoint URI containing an app ID for the MyAPI object. A retrieved bearer token that the calling app will pass to identify its authorization. Right? Then API tokens. The API tokens provide access to integrations from outside of integrator.io. So the scope here we can see full access and custom access. So help in Celigo, we have seen help center, community, what's new, and submit ticket. So that's the end of our session. Thank you.